Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to Scar World, where we're creating this super awesome modern house. And in today's episode, we finish up the landscaping by building all sorts of amazing things. So let's get this episode underway. Alright, and welcome back to Scar World, and we're here at our s'more house, where we've been building for the last few months. This amazing modern house built all around this beautiful land where we have all of our lawns, we have our beautiful designs of the house and interiors, but we have one more section to go here, and that is our final landscaping work. So what we're going to do here is we are going to start our lawn by bringing it all the way over here and then building in little bits of landscaping detail, and then we're going to build a home garden. That's right, we're going to build a place for the homeowners here to, come out and do their gardening and get all sorts of fun vegetables and fruits and all sorts of good stuff. So let's actually head over here and look at what we did in our prior episodes. Of course, we built this amazing lap pool built in here with flags and a block and all sorts of beautiful things. And then down here, let's jump over here for a second. As you can see, we've got a beautiful koi pond with waterfalls and plant life and rocks and little bridges and all sorts of little details here that make up a really kind of cool zen kind of area of the garden to kind of head over here, kind of relax. We need to build like a bench or something to kind of, sit down and watch the cool little water flow and stuff along those lines. But we got a lot of work to do, so let's jump right into it. So first thing we're gonna do here, we're just gonna make ourselves a simple little pathway here. So just get ourselves a little pathway. We're gonna connect to where we left off before. So in this long stretch right here, this is where we're gonna build some planter beds and get some different details built up. And yeah, so I'm super excited. So let's get right into it. And I think once we get into the point where we're able to start working on the flower beds and stuff like that, or the vegetable beds and all that good stuff, then we're really going to be able to get pretty creative with some cool and interesting little designs and details. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. So next thing we need to do here is we just need to run this lawn right here all the way in. So we'll just fill it from here all the way to there. So let me do that now. And there we go. We've got ourselves a lawn. Now, what we need to work on now, after we got our little pathway built up and we're ready to go, we need to work on getting ourselves a little fence. So what I'm going to try to do here is come up with a good idea for a fence. Now, we're going to maybe try a couple little ideas here or there, and then I want you guys to let me know on what you think. There we go. And then we'll just run that across there. And what do you think? Does that look like a pretty cool kind of fence design? I just want to do it in a way that matches the house. Like, it's kind of fits in, kind of blends in with the design. And I feel like that looks pretty good. I feel like that might be the design. So let me know. And of course, if you guys have any other, ideas you think would look a little bit better, you know how to let me know. There we go. And wonderful. Awesome. And then we'll just run that across here. And then of course, there's a nice little gate, and we can come up with a design for a gate in a little bit. There we go. All right. So next thing I want to do is I just want to run this all the way down here. And then this will create, just a little fenced off area where the backyard will be. So let's just run this fence all the way down. And there we go. We've got ourselves our fence all loaded up and ready to go. Now the spacing is 5. So there's a spacing of 5 between each pillar. So there's 5 blocks of our spruce leaves. Looking pretty fancy. And I've also placed some stairs on top of the actual fence. And I think that looks pretty cool. And yeah, so let's get to it. So what we're going to work on now is getting our raised vegetable beds loaded up and ready to go. So that's what we're going to work on right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to space them out to about here. All right, and we're going to place 2 over there like so, and then we're going to run this all the way back like that. There we go. And I'm going to sneak on the back here like so, and then boom, and bam, and there we go. And then in the interior, we'll just fill this in, and eventually we're going to have carrots, and we're going to have all the good stuff growing out of these. Now, this is not 1.9. But did they add beets, if I'm not mistaken? Because I have not played 1.9. I played it like briefly in the summer, and then that was about it. So I don't know. I think they've actually added beets. So if they did add beets, I guess we're going to have to make some room for the beets, apparently. So Dwight Schrute would be very proud, my friends. Very, very proud that we had the beets, I suppose. I personally don't see a point of them, but each his own, to each his own. There we go. And then we'll click that, and then we're going to run this all the way down to here. Very, very good. Beautiful. Awesome. And then we'll just fill in the sides over here. Awesome. There we go. So we got all sorts of fun plans. So those are our kind of our basic flower beds. Now this is going to look a lot better. Believe me, it looks very plain, very boring at this point, but we got all sorts of fun and exciting things planned. Okay. So next thing is, I want to do green beans. So like beans. So the way you do this is, you kind of build up a little trestle or something along those lines, and then you can grow the beans kind of grow up as like vines. So where I'm gonna put this, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna do it over here. I think I'm gonna do it over here, and we're just gonna do it at kind of small, just not too big at all. There we go, build up like that, beautiful, wonderful. And then what I'm thinking is, let me just build this up like that. There we go, bring that all the way to there. And then let me sample that, beautiful. And I'm gonna sneak on over here, there we go. And then we've got ourselves a little kind of a bean kind of vine thingamabob. There we go. And then we're just going to take vines because I think that is our best representation of what beans would look like as they grow, and you can head on over and pick your beans and all that good stuff. So when I was trying to come up with an idea for this particular area, I was trying to figure out like what would look cool in this area. And I really do think this is going to look cool once we get it all done and all ready to go. And I think it's a little different than anything we've done prior. So I want to make tomatoes. And I have no idea how to make tomatoes. The best thing I can figure out is to do it this way. So what we're going to do here is we're going to place down some like so, like this. And then we're going to build up a little bit of a support structure around it like you do with beans, of course, or I mean tomatoes. So, you have your little tomato cages and you put them along this way and it helps the tomatoes grow. There we go. And we're going to place that like that, cut out the scar mistake. And then we're just going to do, let's do three. But yeah, let me know. Some of these ideas are a little out there, but you got to use your imagination a little bit. But I kind of feel like if we put these along here, we can kind of get the impression that these are some tomato cages, set up and are ready to go. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. And what are your thoughts on another one? Kind of feeling like another one would look really nice here. Maybe not like that, but like this. There we go. And of course, if there's any other ideas, maybe we could do these in cobblestone walls to give it more of a wire cage feel as you would do with a tomato plant. There we go. Looking good. And then let me jump over here and let's get out a little hoe here, and then we're just going to run that across there like so. And then let's look for our particular seeds that we want. So we could do these in seeds here. Let's jump over here and grab our carrots, because I know that's what I want to do here for sure. So let's do our carrots. There we go. And then let me fix that. Beautiful, wonderful, awesome. And then we'll do our potatoes right here. But I think it's pretty interesting to do something a little different, add like a home kind of garden here. This, of course, like we talked about before, will probably be those beets, but for now, it'll be the wheat. There we go, looking good so far. So let's plan out what we're gonna do over here. Now I'm kind of feeling like this might be a cool area to do some melons, some watermelons, some different things like that I think would look really good. But yeah, give me 1 second, let me kind of catch my breath for a moment and I'll be right back. And welcome back. So I made a little modification to the fenceway here, and what I've done is I've added this carpet on the top, and let me know, I think that looks pretty good, but let me get your thoughts on it and see if it's something a little over the top or if it's something that looks kind of cool and adds a little more definition to our fence. And then I also, on this, on our little bean trellis here, I pushed it back or forward 1 block, and I also added a little bit of carpet on top. I think that looks kind of cool. And then as you can see down here in the ground, I've just added a little variety of, different dirt textures, a little bit of, weeds kind of growing up. What garden would be complete with at least a couple weeds growing? So got that kind of in there. It just adds a little bit more so it's not just a sterile, dirt patch, which we'll change that over there eventually. And as you can see how I just added that over here. Okay, so now I changed a little bit in this area. I've decided to go with the dark oak of the, the kind of a support structure that goes around our make-believe tomatoes. I think this just highlights the tomatoes a little bit better. They show up a little more if you look back at the video. So go back before and now to our present time. You can see they just kind of pop inside their cages. And then I added some of the carpets a little up there. That's kind of up for debate if we want to keep those or not. Next thing I want to do is I want to add some sunflowers. So that's, of course, we're going to add a couple little sunflower here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sneak back over here and I'm going to grab out a little bit of water. Now, as you can see, I tilled the ground just under those. And once again, I think that adds some interesting effects and then just gives this area just a little bit more of a place. There we go. And I'm going to cover up this water eventually, but I haven't quite figured out exactly how yet. Let me grab myself a little bit of till this ground out. There we go. I'm just going to go like that. I'm going to go like that. Go like that, there we go, and then add our sunflowers across there, and then of course we'll cover that up eventually. Now what we can do now is just kind of stick in a little pod soil here and there. Oh, we just broke our friend. We just broke our sunflower friend. We'll fix that up. There we go, cut that out of there, put that back. There we go, looking good. And then you can, mix in just a little bit of standard dirt. See how that just kind of mixes up the ground covers a little bit? I think that looks really nice. So that's starting to make things look quite a bit better. Now what you can do also is, take just a little bit of green grass, not a lot of it, just a little bit. There we go, just kind of incorporate it a little bit here and there. You can just put a little bit of grass on it on top. And then down here, just stick in just a little bit more pod soil here and there. Cut that out like so. Oh, we broke the dam. We broke it. There we go. We'll fill that back in so that we don't have any more floods. Beautiful. And there we go. We've got that section pretty well complete. I'm also feeling like we can kind of just stick this entire field, kind of make that an entire little field there. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Quite a bit nicer. Okay, good. And then I think maybe just a smidge of green grass probably wouldn't look terrible right here. Let's remove that, put that like that, maybe just add a little leaf there. There we go, looking good. Okay, my friends. So now it's time to mix it up a little bit. So what I want to do is create some corn. To create corn, easier said than done. So let me just clear our inventory here for a moment and kind of look through our inventory. So what I've found for corn is to maybe use the tall grass. So it's kind of in an early stage of the corn's growth. So that's the best I can do, trying to make corn. The next thing is I want to do melons. So I want to take some melons here, and I don't want to just grow them normally like in Minecraft. I want to add vines using leaves, and I think that'll look really cool. So we'll start with that. And then I think what I'm going to do is go with, I'm trying to think, watermelons. I feel like watermelons have big leaves. So I think I'm going to go with jungle leaves. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking of like, zucchinis, things like that have gigantic leaves. So I'm guessing that watermelons do. So we're just going to go with that. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to run and just stick a couple little random watermelons here and there. And then from this point here, now I've got a couple ideas here. Now bear with me on this one because this might get a little crazy. Let me grab out a little bit of oak leaves. So what I want to do here, and this is kind of like an idea that just popped into my head. That's why I think it's a little crazy because we're not sure where we're going to go with it. But I feel like we can do this. Let me grab out some melon seeds. There we go. So if I can connect like an actual stem to this and then use these as their leaves, their vines, might be kind of cool. There we go. Looking good. Okay. And then what we can do is we can go up to like that and then kind of run the vines out like that. Isn't that kind of cool? I feel like that reads right to the viewer, somebody who's, come over here and look at it. You can kind of see the stems, you can see these big old leaves, and maybe even stick in, just mix up the leaves just a little bit so they're not all exactly the same. There we go. See how we did that? That's looking pretty darn awesome, I feel like. Then we can go like that, and then we can go over here. And I don't know, can we do double? Can we do double stem? Oh yeah, we just went double stem there. There we go. Hashtag double stem. That's how we do it. There we go. And then we just run some leaves across here. Beautiful, awesome. And you just mix it up so it's not all exactly the same. There we go. And then we can go over here and go over there. We can just get really wild with it, but we're not going to because we're just about done with this section. There we go. And then just for good measure, we can do maybe just a couple, 2 tall bushes like that. Maybe stick one back here like that, go like that. There we go. And there we go. We've got ourselves a little melon patch all ready to go. Now I think I'm going to skip the watermelon, or not watermelons, but maybe I'll skip the pumpkins. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or not. Okay. So next thing we're going to do here, and like we did before, I'm just going to set a temporary water source here for a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to bring this out like so. Just find a good, place to do this. There we go. Then I'm going to run another one across here. I know we're going to lose some of our tilled ground because the scope, we're outside the scope of that particular water source. There we go. And I don't know, we're just having fun, being creative, trying different things. That's the whole point of being, trying to do things different, trying to be creative is, mixing things up a little bit, trying different things. There we go. And we're going to put that right there. Hopefully that kind of solves a few problems. And like I said, we're going to find a cool solution to cover up our water. So that's a little bit more nice looking. There we go, looking good. We're getting that all set up. We've got our little fields here. Let's take a look at it from above. And there we go. We've got that all slowly filled in here, looking very fancy. So yeah, give me 1 second. Let's get ourselves a scarecrow going and clean up some of the water sources, and I'll be right back. All right, and let's get our scarecrow set up and ready to go. So I feel like the melons are a great area to put this. And I'm thinking like right there is going to look cool. And I dyed the leather just a little bit more orange to give it a little bit more of an orange tint to it, and put that on there. And look at that guy. Oh, he's so amazing. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so next thing we need to do here is start working on this wall. Now, as you can see, this wall is incredibly boring. So what we're going to do here is we're going to space this out like so, and we're going to run this up to, I think about here is good. I think that's a good height. Yeah, that's a good height. We can always knock it down a little bit if we want to. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to run these along the side up here, and I think that's going to look really cool. There we go. Yeah, that looks great. And then we're just going to have these pillars kind of going up along here, and this will kind of help, you know, blend in the sides of these walls, which are kind of blank and boring. So giving these a little bit of a kind of a bushy tree along here is going to look wonderful. There we go. And then highlight that window like that, looking super cool. There we go. And then bring these up like so. Awesome. So we're going to continue those all the way down here. And then once we get that settled, we need to work on our lawn area over here. So we got some working to do over there. So we got some ideas to kind of start thinking about for that section. Then the only other thing we still need to do today is just add the lawn down by the pool. So we haven't done that yet. So we just need to kind of get to that in a little bit too. There we go. Give these things just a little bit more definition. There we go. Cut those in there. Bring in the back there just a bit. We can always add some lights back there a little later. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so over here is going to be a little tricky, my friends. A little tricky. So we're just going to kind of go like this for now, and then see if we can fit in any other details. And I think that's going to probably be good for now. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks pretty cool. You get the two sections kind of highlighting the windows, and then you have these ones that are under the actual window. So then I think we'll just fill in like that. Looking good. And then we can bring these out just a little bit farther to match. There we go. I think that looks really cool. Let's kill the rain. There we go. And then, yeah, I think it looks good. Let's sample some of these things. There we go. And then we can just stick in a couple ferns here and there like so. And we can stick in a couple of these little bushes like that. Very cool, very cool. And I'm sticking a couple more ferns. And then let me zip over here real quick. And let me grab just these flowers real quick. And then we're just going to stick just a couple of these over here. Like we've talked about before in certain areas, we don't want to go flower crazy. So we're just using these things very sparingly. There we go. And there's Jelly over there. Do you see Jelly over there? Good old Jelly. Her umbrella got taken down because, like I said before, this is the last kind of main episode. Next, we do one episode where we build something within the world to kind of make everything feel together. And then, of course, we're moving on to bigger and better things. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take these bushes and then kind of fill them in here. It's kind of a haphazard, kind of, you know, natural feel like we've done through here. And we're just going to continue that all the way down to our fence line. Now, I do kind of feel like this area could really use kind of a tree, you know, something a little bit more large, substantial to kind of anchor this section here. It feels kind of loose right there. So what I'm kind of considering, maybe starting right about here, maybe, let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe starting right here, do something like that, but do it about this high. I'm kind of considering that. What if we did something like this? What if we actually cut, you know, some of our lawn out like this? There we go. And we just added, you know, like a little barrier between them. So yeah, let me kind of play with this for a second, see what can be made of this. And I'll show you what I can come up with in a second. All right, and welcome back. So we made this little divider in the lawn right here, and I think that looks pretty good. And then we move over here, and I've added some kind of design that we did over by the garage, and I think that looks pretty good. So let's finish this up over here, and this just gives it a little bit more of kind of a nicer feel, kind of anchors this side just a little bit. We may change it here or there, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. There we go. And then we'll cut in like so, put that like that, beautiful. And we can add just some random little bits of plant life here and there. We'll stick that like so. And then we can do another one right there. And then we'll put that like so, and boom, bam, bam. And there we go. Looking good, looking good. So we have this entire section over here now complete. So that's pretty exciting. So let me know what you guys think. We definitely need to add some like table or chairs up in that little section right there. But we have one more section to go, and that is completing this area over here. Now, prior, this was supposed to be a volleyball court, but I never could come up with a really good, compelling volleyball court that you were like, wow, look at that volleyball court. I want to build that in my own world. Everyone I built was kind of like, it just wasn't up to Scar standards, if you will. So that's why I decided to not do it. So hopefully, maybe in a future build, we can come up with a really cool volleyball court. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to fill this in with a beautiful lawn. And then I think I'm going to bring out the lawn to about there. There we go. And then we'll cut in here and start adding the lawn along here. And I think the lawn will really balance out this area also. And if you come up with any cool volleyball court ideas, send me it on Twitter. Take a picture of it, build in your own world, take a picture of it, let me know. You know, I was building kind of out of sand and trying to build a net out of kind of iron bars and things of that nature. And I just, no, none of them really just kind of really went to me like, yes, that's it. That's what we need to build for our world. But I bet you guys come up with a really awesome design. And yeah, send it to me on Twitter. I would love to see what you guys could come up with. And yeah, so we're just finish up with this lawn across here. So we'll finish up the lawn building, and then we're going to add a couple little bits of plant life here and there, and then finish up the cliff. And yeah, so I'll see you in a minute, and we'll do a tour. All right, and welcome back, and let's look at all of our progress today on our landscaping, where we've got our side yard completed with all sorts of cool little bush trees, I guess. That's what we're going to call them. They're kind of bush slash tree. We got those all set up along here with plants and all sorts of cool stuff. And yeah, look at the side of the house. Remember in the very first episodes I was telling you this is going to look kind of bad. But once we get to the point where we're able to get the landscaping and all that stuff, this side of the house will finally come together. And then over here, of course, we have our beautiful plant life. We've got our fences all set up and ready to go. Over in this section over here, we have our raised flower beds where we have our vegetables growing. And of course, our beans are growing down there. And then over here, we have our melon patch with Scarecrow and, of course, our cornfield. And I completely forgot. I do have a solution for those bookcases. Now, we'll get to that a little later. And then, of course, over here, we have our tomato plants and our sunflowers growing, looking super awesome in our little home garden through here. And then down our trail, we have our, of course, our second lawn built up and ready to go, where we've got our cliff also. So I fixed up the cliff, got some plants growing in here. And yeah, so that's it, my friends. We have now completed our modern house. Now it's time to do our road out front, and then we're going to do the tour, the download, and all sorts of great stuff. So thank you so much for watching today. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later.